What I understand about power in Nigeria, NEPA have been promising us things. Let me just say for the past 3 years or 4 years, I have not seen the real light. So I'm so surprised when you ask me. For the past how many 4 years, now even where I'm staying actually, I don't have light.
Power in our nation, Nigeria, is very power blue this time around, because even in my area where I stay now, it doesn't have power at all. No light, nothing. For past 2 weeks now, we haven't seen even a sign of light at all. So it's too bad for us.
The power generation now is better than before.
Are you satisfied with NEPA?
I'm satisfied with them for now.
My advice to the government is that they should improve on the NEPA problem in this country, because it's really affecting both individual, our business, and even in the offices.
Yeah, when you are talking about power generation in Nigeria, I think we, the masses, are actually suffering.
Nigeria is facing major challenges in the electricity sector, which has had serious ramifications for businesses and general development of people and industries. The power sector had in the past witnessed considerable neglect despite its strategic importance to the nation. Massive hydroelectric potential exists, which, if properly harnessed, could complement existing facilities, provide adequate electricity, and unleash the potentials of the country. The federal government, on the other hand, is looking to harness water resources to boost power generation through the improvement of small hydropower in Nigeria. The capacity range of small hydropower plants, if put into use, will surely improve the overall power generation. Availability of adequate and uninterrupted electricity is the backbone of accelerated development in all sectors in Nigeria. Presently, Nigeria generates less than 4,000 megawatts, which is grossly inadequate and unrealistic for development projects planned for the future. If Nigeria is to meet and surpass her Millennium Development Goals, serious attention needs to be paid on power generation. This episode of Water for Life takes a look at dams and hydropower potentials in Nigeria. Welcome to Water for Life. I am Pei Bento Akwada. Enjoy the program.
South Africa, with a population of just 50 million people, generates 50,000 megawatts, and Brazil generates 100,000 megawatts with a population of 192 million. United States of America, with a population of 315 million people, generates over 1 million megawatts. Nigeria, with a population of 150 million people, generates less than 4,000 megawatts of electricity.
Now we have over 200 dams in the country, and we try as much as possible to see how we can generate electricity from them. Now, in doing so, we first have to extract and bring those ones that have the potential that we can use without detrimental effects to other multiple uses of such dams. Incidentally, Ceremonies of Power has been very concerned about hydropower of recent, because we have to put all our power together from all sources available. So we've now gotten out over 20 dams that have the hydropower potential, various capacities, from 1 megawatt to up to about 40. Now, there are other projects too that are meant specifically for hydropower generation. The Mambila is very key, and the federal government is very concerned about how to construct the dams there and generate electricity. And that one alone can serve a huge percentage of the country. The total potential there is up to 3,000 megawatts. But the federal government is trying to see how it can maximize the potential there in the construction. And a lot of work is going on. The consultants have brought their feasibility studies, and we are studying it together with power to see the best option, whether to generate it 2,600 or make it up to 3,000. There are other dams too that are under construction with different potentials. We have the Kachindila that has about 40 megawatts. Then we have other dams that are already constructed with hydropower components built into them, but the power generation has not been done. We have the Dadinkoa is there, the Keregosh Dam is there, Koyam is there, Bakalori is there, and we have other dams too that we, after assessment, have discovered that we can generate up to 3, 4, 5, in that range, numerous of them. And this can add on to our electricity production. Incidentally, those dams that already have the hydropower, civil works already put in them, are the ones that we can quickly go and start work on them. But the other dams that don't have this, now we have to, it's like retrofitting the hydropower component to the dam. If we're not going to disturb the structure, it is good. Some of them also have outlet structures that can be used immediately. So we're looking at them very seriously because we need to get this power problem solved. And the advantage of hydropower is the initial cost is high, but in the end, it's a very friendly environmentally, and they require little management compared to other power generation. And we are looking at them very, very seriously.
Nigeria lags significantly behind in access, quality, and availability of public electricity supply. The present generating capacity of 3,800 megawatts is not enough to drive the economy, kickstart rapid development, and also grossly inadequate for a population of about 150 million people. This threatens the actualization of the socio-economic goals of alleviating poverty and of jobs and wealth creation.
We are growing, we are not developing the power. Well, hopefully, this Mandela and someone that's coming up might be a way to move forward. And if the leadership wakes up to the situation, even the thermal stations down in the Niger Delta will be rejuvenated because many of them are moribund. They can put them back. So hopefully, I'm just hoping. But if it doesn't happen, we might just crash. And then from the crash and from the dust, something might emerge.
The Vision 2020 strategic objective for the power sector is to efficiently deliver sustainable, adequate, qualitative, reliable, and affordable power in a deregulated market. It is expected that the electricity supply industry will be private sector driven, with the government providing the necessary, appropriate legal and regulatory environment. In order to achieve the Vision 2020, Nigeria will need an electricity generation capacity of about 35,000 megawatts. In the medium term, the goal of the first national implementation plan is to generate, transmit, and distribute 16,000 megawatts of electricity by 2013.
At recent, we traveled to Germany with the president, and we discussed extensively on the German contribution and assistance in this power generation. Hydropower was one of them. About the key, one particular project that was very important, and the Germans are willing to provide funds for this, and it's a key dam. And it was well discussed there. The information required of us to provide this to the German company. And we've been working hard to see that if they come, the job will be made easier for them by making the necessary information that are dependent on our contribution available to them. And we're doing that very well. Then there are other small dams in the country too.
Access to electricity is expected to increase from the current 40% to 50%, while per capita consumption will increase from the current 125 kilowatts to 500 kilowatts. This is expected to be achieved through significant investment in rural electrification programs that will facilitate the expansion of transmission and distribution lines to the majority of rural Nigeria. There is a need, however, to increase power generation by rehabilitating existing power plants and completion of some ongoing independent power producers (IPPs) projects. The completion of national integrated power projects, large hydro plants, independent power producers (IPPs), and renewable power plants, as well as granting of incentives to new entrants to power generation, will increase power generation to 35,000 megawatts by 2020. The Kere Gorge Dam has capacity to generate 6 megawatts of electricity. With improved turbine technology, it can generate 9 megawatts. It is situated in Ikere village, very close to Iseyin in Oyo State. It is surprising, however, that the turbine section and powerhouse is empty. The physical structure is there, but the turbine and generators are not installed. Water is released constantly from the dam back into Ogun River. If Nigeria is to increase power generation in line with the transformation agenda of the present administration, immediate action will have to be taken to install the turbines and generators. The Federal Ministry of Water Resources has been able to impound water at the Kere Gorge Dam. It is now left to the Ministry of Power to tap into this and increase power generation by at least 6 megawatts, which is enough to power the entire town of Iseyin and beyond. There has got to be an understanding and evaluation of many other dams dotted around the country that have potential to generate electricity, and drastic measures must be taken immediately to kickstart the generation of power, no matter how big or small. It is only by doing this that Nigeria can increase power generation and make life easier for her people. Water is life. Watch Water for Life, the reality TV program on water management and delivery in Nigeria, brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Water Resources on NTA International, Fridays at 7:30 p.m. Onya River Dam in Abeokuta North Local Government, Ogun State, is another dam capable of generating 9 megawatts of electricity. The turbines and generators have been installed, but no power is generated from here. One wonders why. The dam crosses the Onya River, a tributary of the Ogun River. It is used primarily to supply raw water to Lagos and Abeokuta, but has potential for use in irrigation and power generation. The dam was commissioned on the 29th of March 1983 by President Shehu Shagari and is operated by the Ogun-Osun River Basin Development Authority. The dam has a storage capacity of 270 million cubic meters of water. 3 turbines of 3 megawatts each were installed in 1983, but as of 2007 had not been used.
It was designed at inception to generate 9 megawatts of electricity, which hitherto had not been met at all. 3 turbines were expected to be installed at that time, and each turbine to generate about 3 megawatts. But unfortunately, only 1 was fully installed, and 2 partially installed. Even the one that was fully installed was not tested at all. That was far back in 1983, when we were talking of 9 megawatts. It shouldn't be so today. The reason is simple. Technology has changed. The technology of a turbine has changed. The ruggedness of turbines have changed. And therefore, the efficiency of the turbines have changed also. And that means that we could get much more. We should at least be talking today of nothing less than 25 megawatts from Oyon Dam. Now, let me give you some technical detail that will show that we should be able to get more than that. The maximum drawdown for the penstock of Oyon Dam should be about 25 meters. 25 meters of water, drawing 25 meters down to power turbine is no small issue. In modern days, when as little as 2 meters, 3 meters, we will turn turbine. Now we are talking of 25 meters turning turbine. That's heavy capacity. And I believe that if we tap from this, we will get much more than we are even talking of. Now, apart from that too, it's a lot of resources wasted. We believe that for the entire rainy season, when the reservoir is full, you could turn it at maximum. this 25. We're talking about 5-6 months in a year. And then we can talk of drawing down the reservoir from the reservoir normal water level over another 6 months. And this water is not entirely useless even in the dry season. That will go to supply the raw water required by both Lagos and Ogun State. And it will also go to service the irrigation demand. And yet, that's the same water we would have used to generate electricity. It's all been wasted because the turbines are not installed.
Water is life. Water for life. Watch Water for Life, the reality TV program on water management and delivery in Nigeria, brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Water Resources on NTA International, Fridays at 7:30 p.m. Water for Life.
China has low-head hydropower generation run of the river, about 7,400 of them, and collectively they generate 9,000 megawatts. So you can see that some might just be less than 1 megawatt, but they serve the community. So we want to see if our perennial rivers can do this for us. It requires little technology, even the funding is not that much, but very sustainable kind of power supply. And itself, that is community-based power generation. So I think government is encouraging us very seriously to go into this. And it's now our responsibility as professionals to this area to make sure that government doesn't fail. Because if the encouragement is given to you, what is left of you is your capacity. So we are all working out to make sure that government's intention is fulfilled.
We carried out some studies about 20 years ago of what we call LOMAI, Lokoja Makode Ekom hydropower systems. We had identified a dam site on the Niger River, just below the confluence of the Niger and the Benue, near Lokoja, was one of them. We identified one near Makode itself on the Benue River. Then we identified another one on the Cross River. So we made these studies. They would have developed thousands and thousands of megawatts. But the problem is that the resettlement problem associated with these projects. For example, if you put a dam in Lokoja, you would have to relocate almost the entire town of Lokoja. And the cost of this resettlement was more than even the cost of the dam. So that made it not feasible. Then the Makodi is still feasible. It can always be built anytime. The crossriver, the one on the crossriver is also feasible. And their potentials, they are in the same range as the Mambila and others. But we've also carried out another study on mini hydros, small and mini hydros. What these are small projects that you can install in different parts of this country, almost everywhere in Nigeria, wherever there's a lot of rain. All you have to do is put a small weir, and it's not a dam, not like a dam across the river, put a small turbine, and you can get enough supply for the villages in the area. So this way we don't have to wait for the national grid. We can do this as local points of hydro supply because we are blessed with the water supply.
Hydropower, we have water everywhere. So right now, some of them are very feasible to generate huge. Why didn't we convince government this way? But incidentally, because of development, government now is forced to look at and now it is our responsibility to make this available to them, the information available to them, and do proper analysis, economic analysis, the sense, so that they will see what we need to do. And fortunately, this is what we are doing. And government is willing to start, however small it is, power generation from hydro. I'm talking hydro because this is where I know our department is very relevant, the ministry is very relevant. Now, some time ago, this ministry decided that whether it is our responsibility to generate power or not, it will be not for us to put the hydropower component in a dam, so that if we need to put the electrochemical, electromechanical, we just put it and generate electricity. We don't have the right to transmit, but we may have the right to put the civil works for them, the power. And if you finish the dam without this, coming back to install it is always a problem. So we made it a point of consideration for all dams with certain level of potential to be to generate electricity to that potential. We do not transmit, but we can make available all the civil works for them to generate and transmit. And the civil works is all part of the hydraulic works, which we do. And that's why you have some of our dams with such, and power is trying to install the turbines. Now, recently we even have the memorandum of understanding between water resources and power on how to manage this. Civil works is left for us. Transmission is left for them. And that's what made them the least of our dams, that they could put all this. And we're working hard and we think very well together. There's always a meeting, any dam that has such, we have people from power that go there to watch.
To say the least, is to state the importance of power to a nation. It is therefore very important that federal government speed up all power generation related projects in order to meet the Millennium Development Goals and unleash the great potentials of our great nation. Remember to send your comments and emails to the addresses at the bottom of your screen. And also remember, water is life. Use it wisely. Until next week, see you.